about me right now. I'm a man of faith. If you've been in our Bulletproof Fit Christians over 40, it's something that I've shared. Let me just come in here. I'm going to admit, I apologize because I have to let everybody in here and it's beeping, but that's okay. I'll get a little distracted. Here we go. I'm a man of faith. Actually grew up, went to Catholic school, kind of got away from it, drifted, and then lo and behold, in my 30s, came renewed into my faith. And it's been an amazing journey, and that in itself is a story. But I just wanted to share with you a little about that. Also, if you know, I am a family man. This is my son who now pushed past over top of me last year. He's 17, and I have a beautiful 15-year-old about to be driving, and I have an amazing wife in the middle there. She's the glue that holds us all together. We've been married now 19 years at the end of May 25th. So we're celebrating that, which I'm super excited about. And yes, that's a picture of us. Just some other things, surfing, that's really, truly one of my passions, and being able to surf at almost 50, I'm very excited about that, and do some fun things there. Again, married 19 years. So here's some of the people I've helped. Now, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for 26 years. My very first personal training client was in 1995. So just so you know, I haven't stopped. Like, it's not like I did this kind of part-time and then I kind of got away from it. I've been doing this and helping people for the past 26 years. Here are some of the most recent people. You see all different sizes and shapes, some transformations and testimonies there to share with you. And let's get on with it. Let's go. Oop, here we go. A couple other things. See Rebecca here. She got her health under control, lowered her blood pressure, dropped 12 pounds. Carolyn, 10 pounds gone. These are just a few snippets from success stories of some of our most recent students in our coaching program. Here's a few others. Just again, some before and afters. You guys want to see results. You know, what's interesting is these are some amazing people who not only got results, but we're proud, let's go back here, who are proud enough to share those results and become an inspiration for others. And I can tell you that over the years, one of the biggest things that I love is this ripple effect. And that's why I hope tonight's about a ripple effect, even if it's just to spark something in you to actually get started, whether it's losing belly fat, whether it's not being guilty, whether it's getting your body and your health back in the kind of shape that you probably know you have the potential for, or at least maybe have a mustard seed of faith enough to want to keep pursuing it and not give up. So again, these are some of the most, honestly, some of the most amazing individuals I've ever been able to meet. And it's why I've kept doing it, because it's not beyond the weight loss, beyond the belly fat, beyond, the habits and all those things. These people have some amazing transformations, not just external, but internal as well. And I just wanted to celebrate that, because honestly, without all the people that I've already worked with, none of this right now would be possible. So tonight's training, here's the deal. Who is this for? Okay, we're going to run through this. Who is this for first? Stay. I want you to stay. Please don't leave. I want you to stay. If you are over 40 and still haven't gotten the results you want. Now, if you're sneaking in here at 37, don't worry. I'm not going to send Michael after you. He looks, nice and innocent, but he will cut you out. He will just say bye-bye. But no, we're not like that. It's not like one of those TV shows where they say goodbye and you're done. But if you're over 40 and still haven't gotten the results you want, then you can stay. If you're sick of feeling hungry while trying to lose weight, you got to stay. If you are serious about your journey and want to take action now, please stay. And you don't have to stay. Leave, honestly, right now. Don't waste your time. I would hate to waste your time if you are content and comfortable with where you're at. This is not the training for you if you're perfectly content with where you're at. If your body is in the shape you want, if you're feeling you're in the best shape of your life now, and if you're content with where you're at, this probably isn't for you. If you're unmotivated, if this is something that you just don't have motivation for, I did a live this morning about motivation, and it goes beyond that. But if you're just unmotivated, just not really, I'm just going to show up because I got nothing else to do, this is probably not for you. If you're not an action taker, just looking to maybe sort of kind of do something about this, like I'm the one thing that I've learned over 26 years, and I talk to people all the time about this, is it's called shelf help. And what happens with shelf help is you know, it's like certificate, you did certifications and credentials. Maybe you bought some books, self-help books, motivational books, diet books, and they end up going on the shelf and they end up just becoming shelf help. They look all pretty on the shelf, right? You have a nice bookshelf filled with awesome books and all kinds of trainings and things, but they just don't help you. So I'm not interested in that. If you're not an action taker, you're just looking to maybe do something that's probably isn't for you. So who is this for? So let's go in there. And sorry, as people are coming in, I'm going to admit them in and we'll go in there. If you are, I'm going to just mute you all. Let's see, there we go. Muting all the new participants. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, this is the last admit, and then that's it. Sorry, Michael. There we go. Good, good, good. All right, let's do this. So who is this for? If you're over 40 and struggling with belly fat, you're in the right place. If you're sick of feeling guilty while trying to lose weight, can we just all like break the ice right now? And I'm going to be the first one. Have you ever felt guilty about trying to lose weight? Like, have you ever felt guilty in a sense, like with food that you're eating? I'm going to be the first one. If you feel guilty, just drop a 1 down in the chat. Just drop a 1 right now so I know who's with me. And if you are feeling uncomfortable and unconfident in your own skin, like that's another thing. This is for you. If you feel, I've heard this, if I were to have $1 for every time somebody actually said, Mark, I just don't feel comfortable in my own skin, I would not probably have to coach anymore, because I've heard it thousands and thousands and thousands of times over the years. Again, if you want to be able to flatten your stomach and remove the guilt, this is for you. And if you're serious about your weight loss journey and you truly want to make a change right now, this is for you. All right, so why can I help you? So let's just talk about that for a moment. Couple of things you just need to know about me getting started. And maybe for some of you guys that are even in my program, maybe you didn't know this, but of course you did know this, that I'm the creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough. It is truly the #1 weight loss coaching program for men and women over 40. Of course, I'm a little bit biased, but I honestly, and I'm around some of the best of the best, but as far as the market I serve, the clients I serve, why I believe it's one of the best is obviously for that's kind of a skewed perspective on my end, but it's up for you to decide for yourself. And one of the I can just say is being over 40 is tough. I'm almost creeping past the 50. Maybe some of you here over 50, maybe some of you are over 60, and it does get harder. But one of the things I can share with you is I've created this over the past 26 years of working with people in their 40s. You see, when I was like wet behind the ears in my 20s, I was training personal training clients in their 40s. And it was interesting. I never thought I'd actually still be personal training. I honestly had no idea at that age. I was just trying to work my way through college and physical therapy school. And it's something that I actually been pursuing for 25 years, but not, and I've worked with all ages, but the majority of time, the majority of people that have had the pleasure, the privilege, the honor to work with were people over 40. So I have just a little bit of really in the trenches experience, if you will. So one of my missions is, and I've set this mission in last year, while I believe on an external level, on maybe a superficial level outside through social media, and maybe through posts and not just my coaching clients, but I am on a mission truly to help over 1,000 men and women over 40 transform their lives and bodies. Now, I know probably the majority of people on here are women. That's the other thing is for the majority of the years that I've been doing this, it's been mainly women that I've worked with. And can we just celebrate you women now? No offense to the guys, but I'm just going to take a moment. It's a day after Mother's Day. So for any of you moms out there, let's just celebrate you right now. Thank you so much for all you do, for all the children that you care for, all the children that aren't your children that you care for, all the children that maybe you don't even know yet that your kids have come over to your house and maybe you give a ride to soccer practice. Thank you so much. One of the things that drives me is seeing people in my season of life moving and just doing so much for others, truly helping them succeed. And one of the things that it's my calling is not only in a standpoint, God's called me to help as many people as I can in their health and fitness, but also if they have a pursuit and a path towards God, is to also do that. And if you've watched me or followed me any period of time, I'm pretty open and transparent about my faith. Just sharing with you over the health and fitness over the past 25 years. And I think that's in there twice, but that's okay. I have a degree, just so you know, formal. I went to school for first athletic training. Then I actually pursued a degree in physical therapy, and that took me 8 years for a 4-year degree, but I did receive that. And I actually also got to work for the #1 orthopedic hospital in the United States, and that's the Hospital for Special Surgery. So I had a bit of experience, 5 years to say, with acute care. I worked in subacute rehab. I worked in knees and hips and backs and all that kind of stuff. And again, I don't want to bore you with all that. And then honestly, right now, I'm going to be 49 in September. So again, I don't want this to be about me, but I'm just telling you at 48 right now, 48 and 3/4, I honestly can tell you wholeheartedly, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. A number of reasons why, and you're like, well, of course, you're the coach, you're the trainer. But I'm a human and I'm a person just like you. And I struggle with food and I struggle with my weight. I have my family history has a struggle with weight. Just in the past, I dealt with it in college. I fought with it through when our kids were little. And it's something that even despite me being the coach and the trainer, is something that I can relate to a number of you guys on a lot of different levels, because it's still a struggle. I still have to work hard at it, but it isn't possible. And I'm going to hear it. Can you hear me right now? Can you guys hear me? You guys hear me okay? Michael, give me thumbs up. Yeah, okay, good. I saw somebody said they couldn't hear me. Okay, cool, just making sure. All right, let's move on. How this will work. This is my guy, Owen. He is licking his chops. I hope you're licking your chops and ready. How this is gonna work, please, like I had mentioned before, turn your camera on. All I ask is that you turn your camera on and that it be muted. So if you came in here late, that you could do that for me. Please be engaged and participate. Again, this is a community. I want this to be an open environment where we can share. You can be open, transparent. You can share as much as you want, as little as you want. Do so in the chat. You can just type that in. Please be respectful of others as well. Just so you know, I'm not going to keep, there's going to be no time where we unmute. I want to try to get through this because I know your time is valuable and I want to give you as much information, but please be respectful with others as well on here. And let's go in there, blow up the chat. That's going to be huge. In a moment, I'll share with you why. So we've got some little prizes and bonuses coming up. And then to see chat on the phone. So let's go into tap on these 3 dots. To see chat on the phone, tap on the 3 dots in the bottom of your right screen, tap on the chat and then message away. There's little 3 dots. You should be able to find that and you'll be able to chat. So if you guys aren't too used to doing that through Zoom, that's how you figure that out. All right, cool. So here we go. The heartbeat of my coaching you is absolutely this: winning. That's it. Like, all right, let's do a different number. Drop a 2 if you want to win at this struggle, this fight with weight, with your belly fat. And it doesn't have to be just belly fat. If you want to struggle, please just drop a 2 right now, because it's something that I feel you can win. You have the ability to win. Maybe you just don't have the tools. Maybe you just don't have the accountability. And regardless of what that is, I hope tonight, again, that you come out of it feeling even like one step closer to completely winning this battle of weight that's maybe around your midsection. Maybe it's around your thighs. Maybe it's around your arms. Maybe it's all over. Maybe you've been struggling since you were a kid. I've talked to people and I've consulted and I even work with now people that have been struggling from anywhere from since COVID. They put the COVID-19 pounds on. But I've also worked with people that have struggled for over 19 years and some more than that. And I know, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to know, not that there was a struggle, it breaks my heart to know that there wasn't a solution found in that time. And I know, unfortunately, we get steered down these paths of like, hey, selling, Mark, what are you trying to sell? Well, I'm a coach, right? And I can tell you that there's something I'm going to share with you as far as coaching. But outside of that, we just have been, I guess, I don't know what the word came up to me, bamboozled to some extent, right? Marketing does a great job at telling you this is going to be the solution. This is going to be the answer. This is all you need. You just put the wraps and the creams and the potions and the lotions around and you end up not winning. You may win for the time you're on it, but then guess what happens? Then you feel like a loser because I say, you get off the plan, the weight comes back on, the belly fat's there, or maybe the belly fat never came off and you just gave up. I'm at a point now that anybody that's willing to listen to me, anybody that's willing to take any value from any of the trainings, whether it be a daily dose in the morning, maybe something I post, or one of these live trainings, is that you get to the point where you can truly be a winner. You can win at this. I want you guys, if you know I'm passionate about this, what gets me so excited is that you actually just chose to show up to me. You chose to show up. Thank you. That's a part of it. Part of winning is taking action. Action is the key. The only way you're going to lose is if you stop. If you just you give up, and that's no way to start. So here we go. That was when I had a clean shave, but I hadn't had a clean shave in a while. The intent of today's masterclass is this. It's going to be about 40 to 60 minutes, give or take. That's including the start part. There's going to be some giveaways and free prizes. Stay tuned for that. Gain valuable insight to shrink your belly and remove the guilt. That's why you're here. You want to know how you can shrink the belly and remove the guilt. And here, can I just give something away to you real quick? It's a lot. It's not easy, because if it was easy, then none of you would be on this call today. Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's not easy, but I would say it's really simple. And I would say one of the things that I've been able to do is to simplify when it comes to weight loss, fat loss, belly fat, when it comes to exercise. I know in today's world and in the new world we're living in, how crazy we're being pulled in all different directions in our minds and our bodies and our time and our resources. And I know when it comes to belly fat, weight loss, and what happens is we don't have time for ourselves. Then we feel guilty, and then that sends us down a dark path. But right now, today is about giving you value, giving you insight so that you can be successful losing that belly fat. Now, is it the end all be all? No. In God's eyes, it doesn't matter what size you are. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But right now, you're here and you want to lose some belly fat and you want to remove the guilt, because part of those are 2 and 1. So let's get into the next. Again, you can engage and interact with me and like-minded people. That's part of today's masterclass. Here's the cool thing. You're not here alone trying to discover how to get the weight off. You see other people. I don't know how many we have on now, maybe 40 or so, 50 people in here. Thank you all for showing up. There's thousands and thousands of people who struggle. In fact, honestly, if you're to take a look at statistics just on weight, belly fat, obesity crisis, it's truly a crisis. I've been in this 26 years, and I've seen from when I was like 25 years old when I started doing this, or 23 years old, to now how it's gotten worse, despite more products, more gyms, more trainers, more coaches, more potential solutions, right? So I just want you guys to know you're in here and there's other people, you're not alone. So just keep that in mind, you're not alone. And then of course, here's I'm just going to let you know, if you were wondering if there's some sales pitch at the end and trying to get you to coach with Mark, I'm just letting you know, this is my livelihood. This is how I provide a roof over our head. You know, kids in school, I'm able to pay bills. This is what I've been able to do. This has been my livelihood for 26 years. It's what's going to continue to. I've been in the online space as an online coach for the past online for the past 3 years. I've owned my own gym. I've worked in gyms. I've had my own personal training businesses, so forth, so on. And this is my livelihood. This is how I make a living. So if you're wondering, is he going to try to pitch you? Don't worry. When we're done at the end, you can get off before I share with you what the special offer is, but you are going to want to hang on because I've never done this before. All right, cool. Are you guys ready? Here, drop a 3 down. It's super easy. Just one little number. Drop a 3 down if you're ready. I want to know if you're ready. If you're ready, that's it. Let's see you guys blow it up. I'm looking down at the chat. I'm going to pay attention there as well. 222s, grid 3, belly be gone. I need to lose a lot. That's it. 54 here. Yeah, Lulu, awesome. Welcome. Dunk, Lynette, welcome. Diane, welcome. 3's ready. Lulu's ready. Good. Jen's ready. Kathy's ready. Come on, drop them in there. Let's see all of you. Andrea, Shane, excellent. All right. Love this. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. Like, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? I'm just going to mute you out here, Patty. Or if you can mute yourself out, that would be great. Here we go. You guys are ready. The giveaway prize. So here's how it's going to work. How do you win? There's a prize at the end of this. And how that's going to work is pretty simple. You got to get involved. Got to engage and interact. Drop some numbers. I want to see your name pop up all the time in there. Give and share. Here's what I'm going to recommend you do. I say you can't share this because, again, here's something that is it's not being recorded for you. I have it recorded for my inner circle, but it is not something I'm going to play on the replay. This is something here and now. But I want you to share that you came to this, that you showed up. Spread it on your social media. I don't really do Instagram. I'm sure maybe if you're on Facebook, most of you came to me through Facebook. I sometimes put stuff on there because my kids are on Instagram, right? I think in my season of life, Facebook is a little bit more with me, although it's kind of been crazy, but spread it on social media. Take a snapshot with all the people in here, see something you like, and then share that on social media and tag me in there so I see you. And then ask questions. Again, the only way you get better is you ask. The best things that I've learned in my life over time is to ask questions. When I've struggled, I ask questions. When I get stuck, I ask questions. I've even learned more so now, even when I'm almost sure. You see, one of the things that separates me from a lot of coaches and trainers out there is that there's a lot of coaches and trainers who are just winging it on their own, and they're trying to tell their students or their clients that they should have coaching. Well, I'm a firm believer in coaching, and I want you to know one of the reasons why is because I had questions. I had a lot of questions, and those are not things that I could answer. So I surrounded myself with people who have been where I want to go, and who could help me, keep me accountable, help provide a clear path. All right, how to drop the guilt and drop the belly fat without a diet. So here's another one. This is actually my pastor. We've been going online for the last year. Stephen Furtick Elevation Church. Don't deal with on the surface what God wants you to deal with at the root. So I know the number on the scale is very important. And if you have belly fat and you want to remove it, it's important. And it's on the surface. And I say they're like, no, it's in my belly, right? It's right here. But I want you to know that a lot of times it comes to dealing with the root. And it's something that I'm not a psychologist, but I've been doing a lot of psychology with people through their weight loss journey. And one of the things I can just share with you is that we have to get below the surface. We got to get below what the scale says, what you're looking at in your body. Even though the belly fat there and you maybe want it gone and you want to get the guilt off, we got to go a little deeper. We got to get to the root level. So imagine this. Let's just jump in here. Imagine this. Imagine you're losing belly fat while not feeling deprived. By the way, this is one of my clients. She has 5 kids as a physician, and full-time, her and her husband both worked full-time. So 5 kids. You're no longer feeling guilty about enjoying yourself and delicious food. You're consistently seeing the inches come off your belly and the rest of your body. Just to put in frame of reference on here, this is a course of about 8 months. It wasn't overnight. It came with ups and downs. There were struggles along the way. Of course, you see the line in the middle there between the before and the after, the little white space. There's a lot of sweat and hard work that went into those 2 pictures. A lot of trials and tribulations. But what happened? She did not give up. And there's the difference in there. Okay, here we go. Imagine you're looking in the mirror and feeling amazing. So reality check. You guys like my pictures there? That was a while ago. Reality check, you're stuck in a rut right now. Maybe that's why you're here. If you weren't stuck in a rut, you wouldn't be on this right now. Your waistline is growing by the month. So I've talked to people that not only had put on the COVID-19 pounds, but they had 20, 30 pounds per year for the last 4, 5, 10 years. And it keeps going up and up and up. And 20 pounds, they thought, no way would I ever put 20 pounds on. And then a few years later, a few months later, even a couple of decades later, like, what happened? What happened? The belly is like beyond belly fat. Now it's going all over my body. The other thing, reality check, you've been wasting money on quick fixes and crash diets. I just say this. I like to just break the ice with this. You've all done it. Pretty much isn't one person that hasn't, let's just see on here. I'm just going to see, I can't mute. Let's
Jerry?
see. Yeah, Patty, if you can mute yourself, that'd be great. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not able to mute there. I think because I'm in that mode. Thank you. All right, so you blaming it on your age and your hormones. Oh, this was, before I go to that, you wasted money on quick fixes. Let me go back one because you're going to get mad at me for that. You wasted money on quick fixes and crash diets. I've talked to people who have spent thousands and thousands of dollars. All right, here's what I want you to do. Just drop a me. Let's just do this because here's it. We're all going to just throw the cards on the table. Drop a me down in the chat if you wasted money on quick fix and crash diets. Drop a me. Let's just own it right now. Why not we just own it? Everybody in it right now. Own it. Own it. Own it right now. Own it. Like we wasted money, wasted time, wasted like years maybe on it. You thought it was going to be the solution and it ended up just being a lie, or you ended up giving up regardless of what it was. Crash diets. And now you're looking at the belly and you're like, man, if I only just did certain things, different things, maybe that's it. Excellent. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you, Gloria, Lori and Gloria, Lisa, Sandra. Thank you so much for admitting that. Thank you. You're blaming it on your age and your hormones. Can I just tell you now, I'm just going to put this out there. Of course, your hormones play a part of this, right? Of course, your age plays a part of the equation. But let me just tell you one thing here, is that it's not nearly as much as most people, not nearly as much as the majority of people think. And I would say is include any other excuse that you may have here. Let me just make sure I'm going to admit the rest of the people coming in here. All right, cool. And I apologize, I had to go back. I thought I had the ability to do that with two. So that's all I'm going to do. If you came in later, it's 6:34, tough noogies. Here we go. So back to number 4 real quick. You're blaming on your age and your hormones. Yes, we've gotten older, but typically what happens is we become less active. Yes, our hormones play a role in that, but it's not nearly. And I can just tell you, really, no. I've heard this. Well, my wife's a nurse practitioner, ARNP. I think they call them ANRP now. I can't remember. They switched the numbers. She's been a nurse practitioner for the past over 25 years, same amount of time as me since we've known each other. She's worked in women's health. She's worked in family medicine. She's worked in hormones. She actually worked specifically in a natural hormone private practice. She works in GI right now. I can tell you for a fact, the people that go to her that have weight problems, issues, belly fat, they complain about hormones. It's a very small percentage of the time. So we're not going to get into that tonight because I know maybe some of you are getting under your breath because you're a man, you don't understand. And I know from all the women I've worked with, because regardless of hormones, regardless of age, there's a lot of things that can be done that can get that belly fat off. Amen. All right. And you're sick and tired. Reality check. Let's do another one here. Let's drop a 1 down below if you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like you're just sick and tired of it right now. If you're coming in and you're just mute yourself for me, that would be great. I'd appreciate it. All right, so here we go. I should have put you've almost given up all hope. But maybe you've given up all hope. And maybe you're just like, oh, maybe I'll just listen to Mark. Or I know I've seen a couple of his posts, seen a few of his things, and you've given up all hope. The good news is you haven't. So number 6, you haven't because you're here. You showed up. And you should be proud of yourself, maybe not for still struggling in your, 20 years battle in your weight loss journey. Maybe it's something that you've disappointed yourself and you feel like Mark, how can I be so good at, I survived parenting 5 kids. I survived the business that I've been in and working. I've survived a marriage that was rocky. I've survived, going through all these things in life. I've survived, having family challenges, and I survived. Why is it still? And I've been able to get through it. Why can I not get through this? I can just tell you, you're not alone. Just know this. Just don't give up hope. You have to have hope. The only way you lose is when you just give up. And typically when you give up means you give up hope. I'm here to tell you that's my vision. My vision for you is that you don't give up hope. Belly fat can come off. Then we're going to get into, let me back up here just real quick. My vision for you is to look beyond just the belly fat. Look beyond the guilt. 2 of those go hand in hand. But if you just look at the belly fat and you not think of, man, I don't like the way I look and feel. I don't understand what happened, what went wrong. I don't know why I feel guilty. I hope Mark can clear this up. Well, I'm going to share with you is really 5 things we're going to talk about. And we're going to jump right into the first one right now. Let me know if you're ready. Drop a 1 down below. And if you're coming in here late, just make sure you're on mute so I don't have any interruption on the message in there. Just mute yourself. Go ahead and mute yourself on there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, let's go. Let's go right in there. That's it. I love it. I love it. Jerry, excellent. I see some of my inner circle. Hey, inner circle crew. Welcome. Kathy, welcome. Hey, awesome. Lisa, nice job. Nicole, welcome. Nice to be here. Thanks for being here. For all of you guys, thank you for spending time with me. And that's what I get the privilege of this is my office space between 2 bedrooms here. And we have a little small house, but one of the things I'm grateful for is being able to have an opportunity. I almost gave up fitness altogether when I sold our gym. I was at a low point in my life, and I actually shared a story about that, not to get into it, but it made me think, because you're wondering how to drop fat consistently. Now, that's one of the most important things. There's 5 things we're going to talk about, and this is the first one. That was at my gym. Now, you want to know how old I was there? So this wasn't this year, but anybody take a guess how old I was when I did that? Those are 2 tractor tires, and that's, I think, close to 50 inches, something inches. Anybody have an idea? Anybody? Let's see, we got some static coming out. Drop a guess. See the closest to know how old I was in that. Let's see what we got there. Oh, Lisa, 40, Kathy, 40. Yeah, I was actually 40, 41. Yep. Yeah, so I was 40, I remember. Actually, I remember on my 40th birthday, I not over 2 tires. And you're not to be impressed because it actually has really nothing to do with other than just to share with you when I did this. And it's going to go into the strength training part. I actually jumped over one of those tires. So I had one of those down and I did 40 jumps on my 40th birthday. And my gym is a warehouse. And I jumped over the tire, standing in front of one side of the tire, not running, just standing in front of it, jumped over the tire and then jumped back 40 times. That was on my 40th birthday. Cause you do like 40 push-ups on your 40th birthday or something like that. But here I was in there. The reason why I say that comes down to strength training. You know, the crazy thing is with this is strength training had everything and nothing to do with it. You're like, huh? Let me ask you this. Strength training, myth or reality when it comes to fat loss. What first off is strength training? I want you guys in maybe like a couple of words. What is strength training? What is it to you? I want to know, what do you think strength training is? Or maybe just a quick little description of what you think strength training is. Lifting weights, building muscle, some weights, building muscle, lifting weights. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Drop it in there. So it's what most people believe, lifting weights, right? Like you go to the gym and you lift weights. So I want to tell you there, strength training. We're going to combine the 2, dropping fat and strength training. I know this isn't something that's right now. It's like, oh yeah, I already know. I've heard strength training is really important. It helps. Yes. And I'm going to teach you why. Can I share with you? I didn't really do any weights. In fact, our gym only had kettlebells, which we did that technically is weight. You don't need to know what those are, but we didn't have any heavy weights. There was no machines. We had ropes and kettlebells and bands and tires. We smashed sledgehammers and climbed ropes. We used battling ropes and our body weight. And I would say is the traditional sense of what people believe is strength training is weights, is using weights. And you know what? But there was no machines, no equipment. So I want you to open your mind up and understand that just because we hear the buzz, strength training is so important for dropping fat. And you're hearing it here from me. I want to tell you that it doesn't mean you have to have a gym membership and lots of weights. You don't have to be pressing 100 pounds over your head. You don't have to be squatting heavy weights to drop fat. In fact, strength training in a nutshell, what it is, strength training is a way to train to get stronger, right? And what happens when you get stronger? So strength training works not just to get stronger, but it's something that helps get your muscles to get stronger, right? Pretty straightforward, right? It produces muscle, and muscle, guess what? Muscle burns some fat. Exactly. So here's the thing. Strength training works so well to drop fat consistently versus say like cardio. Don't get me wrong. Cardio can burn a little bit of fat, But what happens, and you may have heard this before, is it allows what's called this afterburn effect. And what happens when you build muscle, if you've ever talked to, or if you ever seen any high level athletes that have a lot of muscle, they have to eat a lot of food to keep their body and their energy because they have to keep that muscle on, and they're very strong. They don't eat according to that, then they end up losing the muscle. But here's the really cool thing about muscle and why it helps drop fat consistently is because there's this afterburn effect. When you develop your muscles, now I'm not talking like big, bodybuilder kind of muscles. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about strength training, exercises, using body weight, bands, whatever you use, using your own body weight. But there's this afterburn effect. It's called excess post-exercise consumption. And what that does, it's called EPOC effect. It's this afterburn effect. When you have more muscle on your body, it allows you to burn and get your metabolism going. It increases your resting metabolic rate. And your resting metabolic rate, resting RMR, you might have heard of that before, not to get too technical here, it accounts for 60 to 70% of your daily caloric burn. So keep that in mind. If getting your muscles stronger gives you that EPOC, that after exercise effect, where it's kind of like your body's still working after the workout versus doing cardio that typically only burns calories the time you're doing it, that it's going to be beneficial for you to lose fat by strength training, because strength training is going to build muscle, and building muscle is going to get your body to burn more, to get your metabolism going. So I know we talked about like hormones and your metabolism. Yes, as we get older. Why do you think it gets old? Our metabolism goes down as we get older. We lose muscle. After, I believe, 30, we start to, I think it's 30 to 35 in that range, we start to lose a good percentage of muscle over the time in the years following up to our 40s and our 50s, if we're not doing anything to slow down the process or potentially even bring it back. So what's really great about that, plain and simple, as far as for dropping fat, strength training is a reality. It is here to stay. Like if you were to give up one for the other and you wanted to drop belly fat, can doing some cardiovascular exercise do it? Yes. Strength training. Here's the key. This right here. Mark, and I hear this all the time. Mark, I can only walk. That's about what I can do. I can't do push-ups or squats. I can walk. Well, if you listen to me clearly on this, if you have excess weight, no matter how much, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, here's the thing I want that's probably new, and you may not have heard this before, is that when you're moving your body with excess weight, do you think you're strength training?
Yes.
Think about that for a moment, right? Think about that. So if you have 50 pounds you're carrying around, even if you're walking up and down stairs, technically, scientifically speaking, if you really want to get scientific, it's going to help you strength train because you're carrying around the weight. So essentially, even if you're walking, like, oh, I'm doing cardio for weight loss, well, maybe somewhat, but you're also doing strength training. So I want to congratulate you if you're trying to lose weight and you're walking, you're doing strength training. So you're on your path. That's awesome. You should be excited about that. You don't need to think that you need to have a gym and crazy weights and do deadlifts and squats. I know you maybe seen some of the stuff, but again, I've been in this journey for 26 years. So if you're just starting out, I want you to just know that you can strength train and you don't need fancy equipment. You don't need weights. The majority of my students that come into my program, 99% of them that come in and work with me, they use no equipment. They're using their body weight. But what they don't realize sometimes is that they're doing strength training because they're doing, think about why, if you had extra 40 pounds on your body and you're doing a squat and you have an extra 40 pounds and you do a squat and you know that 40 pounds off you are going to be good. Would you need to hold on to an extra 40 pounds to do a squat? No, it's going to make it harder and probably give you more of an opportunity to get into trouble, get an injury, which you don't need. So there's no risk. It's not worth the risk to go crazy into weight training if you're on a weight loss journey, if you're trying to drop the belly fat. Now, if you only have 5 or 10 pounds, then maybe it's getting into a gym and starting to do some training and strength training. But again, most people they go from A to Z and they don't look at the steps beforehand, especially if they have excess weight. So strength training is a reality. That's the first one. All right, good. So let's move on to the second thing, how to remove the guilt and shame and enjoy food and balance. Now, here's a study that there's a lot of studies. This one was in a journal. I think it's called the Appetite Journal. It's been around. It's pretty well known. Found those associated eating, check this out, eating chocolate cake with guilt versus those who associated with feelings of celebration, like people that were celebrating, had less behavioral control over eating. Think about that for a moment. They lost actually less weight over a 3-month period than were less likely to maintain weight loss over an 18-month period than food celebrators. So think about that. Celebrating food. So here, now I'm not talking about making, obviously, it doesn't mean you can't eat chocolate cake every night, right? And kind of side note, okay, mothers, let's just take a side note. Do we enjoy some delicious food? Now, I'm not a mom, but I got to indulge a little bit yesterday. A little chocolate peanut butter cake. It doesn't mean you can have cake all the time, right? It doesn't mean it's an excuse to have it all the time. But you think about this, celebrating it versus feeling guilty about it. Did you see that though? Did you hear? I don't need to say it again. They actually had better success in weight loss and long-term success. And if you want long-term success, let's just make sure that we're all on the same page here really, really quick. Let's just make sure. To make sure we're on the same page, here's what I want to know. Do you want to lose the belly fat and put it back on? Or do you want to lose the belly fat and never look at it again? So one is to lose the belly fat, temporary or permanent. Let's put the word permanent down if you want a permanent solution. Just write permanent down there. Just drop it down below so I know who's with me. Permanent, of course. Weight loss too. We could talk belly fat, weight loss. You want permanent, right? So here's the thing. Here's how to do this, how to remove guilt and shame. There's 5, really, you got to find balance first. Look at this little circle here, this restrict. We did a deep dive in this training, and I'm not going to get into it because it'd take probably a whole nother hour. But here's the loop. Have you been looking at this while I've been talking? Look, we look at what happens. We go on a diet, we restrict. Guess what? Brief relief from anxiety. Okay, we're on a diet. This is awesome. And then guess what happens? The cravings, the stress, the emotional up and down roller coaster. And then guess what happens? Boom, there's a trigger. Trigger goes to a binge. You hang out and you start eating the food. And then the worst part right there, between the binge and the restrict, is that guilt and shame, right? That guilt and shame. Here's the thing. And that may be something, again, I know that's one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people. I'm not the only, I know some people have to go extreme levels to get, there may be some past histories of things that you grew up in a house. Maybe there was a lot of guilt and shame. I've heard some horror stories. And I don't know, hopefully I'm not unraveling some of them right now for you. But if you are, I can tell you that they're hard. And this loop is hard. It is hard to do. And I want to just share with you is there is a balance though. The balance, it does exist. I've seen it. I've helped people through that. Finding balance is really important. Enjoying cake is meant, I remember in New York City, on a side note, my wife and I, there was a place, and you may have heard of it. It's called Magnolia Bakery. And it was way back in the late 90s, Sex and the City days. It was the hot thing, the cupcakes and the pastry, not pastries, it's cupcakes, really cupcake place. And I remember driving through, we like cake, just so you know, I like cake and cupcakes. As I remember my wife, we were riding back on my birthday through the streets of New York, and I was on a road bike with my birthday cake on the handlebars, and I was making sure that we get it back to the house. I like cake, and the reason why I share that, I'm sure maybe you do as well. Maybe there's something else that put the belly fat there. But I would say is you can find a balance. There is a way to it. You wonder, you get so mad sometimes at people. I know a lot of people get mad. How come that person can eat whatever they want and they don't put on the belly fat? Well, that's a whole nother conversation, as well as worrying about you and not them, and know that you're one person and we're all created different. But when you look at it, if you were to have a different relationship with your food, which does take time, it does take courage, it does take accountability, it does take making some different choices. It takes a lot of things, but balance is one of them. Other things, as far as the guilt and shame, planning ahead. I hear people that talk about all the guilt they have for food, and then ask, well, did you plan ahead for what happened over the weekend? No, I didn't plan. Like there's a failure to plan, right? Planning to fail. If you fail to plan, you're going to plan to fail, right? You've heard that before, right? So here's the thing. Don't ignore your hunger. Like don't ignore your hunger. Here's the thing. Let me see in the chat. Some of you guys are blowing it up. I love it. Let me just see there. I'll take a side note talking about cake. I'm sorry, Catherine. You're awesome, Catherine. Catherine's a rock star. I'm just saying, some of you may know she's in our inner circle. She is truly a rock star. And I'll tell you what, a side note, you want to be her friend. She's got an amazing story, and she's in ups and downs, just like the rest of us. And I would say, I'm so glad that you're on here, Catherine. Thank you. Lisa as well. Thank you for being on here. And Lana, thank you. Awesome. Finding balance. Yes. So one of the things, don't ignore your hunger. Don't ignore your hunger. So that's the one thing that you start to do. What happens with diets? You ignore the hunger and then you get off track. And then what happens? Then you get on the food and then there goes the guilt the next day. Like today, from whatever you did yesterday, was there guilt? I'm sure there was for at least some of you guys. And then learn from the past. Perfect example. This is one of the things, this doesn't even cost you. People that invest a lot of money into themselves in a coaching program and to have my help, they get this and they pay for it. But I'm going to give you a little tidbit. Learn from your past. One of the things I love is in the holidays and birthdays is they come back and they say, Mark, I didn't do so well. And I say, all right, well, tell me what you did and what you didn't do. And then I say, well, what happened last birthday? Can you maybe scroll back a year to your last? Oh man, I went way off track. Well, I was way overboard. And the holiday, same thing. And you know what is pretty crazy is that they're moving forward. They're making changes. Was it perfect? Maybe not. Maybe they indulged in a little too much wine, but maybe it wasn't too much wine and too much cake and a second helping of food. And guess what? Then they're becoming successful because they're making better choices. The habits are changing and the belly fat's getting off. So as far as removing guilt and shame, being able to enjoy food, like there's one thing, I almost feel guilty about it to the extent where I enjoy it. My wife and I will enjoy food. And I say we put the enjoyment around the food, not around how many times we can have the food. Like, oh, we'll indulge every once in a while. But unfortunately, just the way it is, we start to crave it more and then we want more and then it becomes addictive, right? And I think just for those of you men and women of faith, and I know not everyone here is maybe man or woman of faith, is to just let you know that there's only one thing that's going to satisfy you. And it isn't any food, it isn't any exercise, it isn't any belly fat gone, it isn't any six pack. I'm going to tell you this. I've met people that you would die for their bodies. You would absolutely give your left kidney away for their body. And I'll tell you what, I've met some of those people and they get to that highest level of their fitness and all those things and they're miserable. And I can say that won't satisfy you. So keep that in mind while you're going through this. Now, it doesn't mean you still want to lose the belly fat, but just wanted to share a little side note on there is with that in as far as your shame and just enjoying food, setting short-term goals. A lot of times I talk to people and they want to lose the belly fat, but they don't have any goals. They didn't set up a plan. They didn't set up any goals, short-term, long-term. I do this with all my students. We set a long-term plan right from the get-go. Then we break it down into 90-day goals. We break it into weekly goals. I have accountability. That's a check-in every single week. And that's how it happens. So that is number 2. And that's where you can get out of this loop. When you start not feeling so guilty, then you don't start to restrict. And then you don't start to get the anxiety. And guess what? Then the cravings they're not really there nearly as much. And guess what? The trigger, you maybe found a different trigger for some of that stress. And guess what? Then the binge, all those things work together. Cool. All right, here we go. Let's move on. Number 3, how to never complain. Has any of you seen this one before where you see, we see the various, this is a stomach, just so you know, 400 calories of oil, 400 calories, and I've done a post like this in the past, 400 calories of veggies. Now, number 3, what you eat determines how you feel. If you eat junk, like oily things that are really like heavy caloric, but they don't take up a lot of space, you're going to still be hungry. Tendency, easy to overeat. Tendency to want to be hungry again in the first 10 minutes after you sit down. So learning how to eat. And here's as far as the important things when it comes to, again, we're relating this back to belly fat. When you can get full on foods that are going to be low in calories, but going to fill up your stomach, that's probably a good indication that's going to help you in your weight loss goal, because the belly fat, it's going to come down. It's going to be reduced over time. If you fill up with 400 calories and your stomach's still full, guess what? Another 400 calories goes in. And guess what? Then you drink another 400 calories. And then guess what? You throw a little bit more dessert on there. And then that ends up being way more than your body needs, right? So how to eat. So just really quick in a nutshell, I'm not going to do a deep dive into macronutrients or all that stuff, but it is important to know you want high in protein, things that high, as far as that are filling, that are helpful. There's it's called, I always get the name pronunciation wrong, satiation. You're satiated, satisfying, high satisfying feeling, right? So a lot of times you want a high, I say a lot of times, all the time, you want an index that's high. On the index, it's like 100 or more. So you can look up foods after, you can take this and run with this one thing to help you with your belly fat is, what are high satisfying foods, satiated index of 100 or more? And I want to share with you, here's a couple of general things. High in proteins, definitely one. High in fiber, so high in protein, right? Most filling macronutrient out there, things like eggs, fish, quinoa. I'm not going to get into all that stuff. We're not going to do a whole deep dive into nutrition. High in fiber, so this is something else. Fiber, guess what? You see all the greens and the leafy. Fiber is bulk. Also, fiber gives you a satisfying feeling, right? You have a high fiber diet. If you're able to have a high fiber diet, most of us are. Oatmeal, legumes, things like that. Again, there's tons of different foods. High in volume, things that contain a lot of water, that have a lot of air in them, water, things like your leafy greens, like watermelon, strawberries, things like that. And they're like, I know I'm gonna get this one, Mark, but sugar, there's sugar in those things. Well, yes, I can't. If you're going to eat, and I had somebody share with me one time that they ate a pineapple a day, that's probably going to get you in trouble, because there's probably going to be a little too much sugar and you're probably going to store some excess weight possibly around your belly. So I would say, yes, again, it's kind of like the cake thing. It's okay to have a little cake. It's okay to have a little pineapple. Just don't have all of it. So, and the other thing is low energy density, things that are low in calories, like your broccoli and your carrots and your lettuce, right? The bottom line, do you notice all those things have in common? If you look now, I know it's in vegetables in here, but we can just kind of look at whole, how to eat. Like here's the bottom line is whole, unprocessed foods that are generally more filling than your processed foods. That's one of the things, how to never complain about being hungry again. Start eating more whole, healthy, fresh foods. Like I can't stress this enough. I know it sounds so general. Like you said, this is too simple, right? The hard thing is actually doing it, right? The hard thing is like, oh, Mark, but I know, I hear this all the time. Mark, I know how to eat. I know what I need. It's just doing it, right? And I would say is this should be a picture next time you're thinking about the things that are heavy, heavy calories and don't take up a lot of space in your stomach. And you're wondering why you're eating that whole thing of ice cream, or you're eating all those chips, or you're eating all the candy and you're still hungry. And then you overeat and overindulge. And then you worry and you wonder about the belly fat. And then you're feeling guilty. And the problem is you go through that vicious cycle, you feel guilty, then you restrict yourself, and then you go back and it's the same kind of vicious cycle. So here we go. Number four. Fourth thing, we're almost there. We got two more. And where are we on? 7 o'clock. Good. Yeah. So we're about 60. I said around 60 minutes or so. We got a little bit more time. You guys with me? You staying in there? Let's see who's still with me here. Let's drop a 7. Let's drop a 7. Lucky 7 if you're with me still. Yeah. All right. Are you guys digging this so far? You guys digging this? 777. Good. Awesome. I think there may be one or two you guys that are still. I'm going to try to knit the last people in here. Last minute. Last minute. Don't worry. You can come in last minute. No worries. Oops. Sorry. Let me go back here. I apologize on that. If you guys got stuck, I was the only person able to let you in. I thought my assistant, Michael, my team, Michael's in there, right hand. He's helping me. He's recording and so forth. And I think he might have sent me a message. I haven't paid attention. All right, here we go. We're going to go with it. All right, what is it? Did he send me a new message? No, 7's all around. All right, we're ready to go. Here we go. How to increase your energy and metabolism. You're going to like this one. You're really going to like this one. Check this out. So it's simple. Move more.
Right.
Move more. Like it's simple. Here's the thing. You're like, oh, easy to say. Well, the more you move, the better you feel. I say this just about every single person I talk to that is interested in working with me in coaching. And let me just see here. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Let's hold on a second. I just want to see. I'm not sure why I was mute. Let's go in here. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I still hear a little static in there. If any of you guys are not muted, if you can do that, that would be really awesome. I would appreciate it. All right, here we go. How to increase your energy and metabolism. Move more. This is a really good circle to be in. You got to move. The reason why the belly fat is there and it's coming and it's staying is because you're not moving as much. Part of the reason why your metabolism slows down is because you're not moving as much. Part of the reason why your muscle tone is not nearly as strong is because you're not moving as much. In fact, this year was detrimental to a lot of people because they didn't move as much. Not all people. You start to move more. Now, I put this picture in there. The more you move, the better you feel, right? God says move. That's it, Catherine. You are so dead on. God says to move. Like he doesn't want you to sit. He wants you to move. So here's the thing. These lots of different things. Bike. Maybe you're not a skateboard person. Maybe you're not a runner. Maybe you're a walker. Maybe you want to play a sport. Maybe it's tennis. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's, it could be a number of things. Honestly, it could be swimming. It could be skiing. It could be hiking. Those are all things. And you're like, well, Mark, I wish I could do any of those things. And here's what's kind of crazy when it comes to that. Check this out. So when it comes to increasing your energy and metabolism, there's a fact, and this is I actually pulled this up from Mayo Clinic. So a slow metabolism is rarely the cause of excess weight gain, including belly fat. So metabolism is rarely the cause of excess weight gain and including belly fat. So that's according to Mayo Clinic. And really what I'm saying is how much you eat and drink along with how much physical activity you get are the things that ultimately determine your weight. It's not your metabolism. So I put metabolism there because we talk about, oh, my metabolism is so slow. No, you're just slow. You're not moving. And I want to encourage you because I've had people that literally could not move, could not get up, could barely walk to their car that started to discover what they were able to do versus what they weren't able to do. And guess what happened? They started to move a little bit. And guess what happened? They started to get a little bit more energy. And that energy tied in, obviously, what we just said, as far as your activity, now that what you eat and drink plays a role. Here's the thing you need to know for belly fat, because I've met people, they are active. Like, I'll be the first to raise my hand. I've met a lot of people who are really, really active, work out even twice, 3 times as much as me, and they still have belly fat. And they're like, well, Mark, if you're saying that, that you move more and that's going to get, belly fat down. Well, not if you're not eating properly, right? You can't out-train a bad diet. You've heard this before. That's nothing new under the sun. But here's the deal. When you start to eat the whole fresh foods and you start to have more energy because you're getting the right nutrients in your body, guess what happens? Your metabolism starts to work better for you and you start to move more. And then guess what? Then you want to move more. Then you start to move more. Now, again, if you don't want to move, again, I'm like, Mark, I'm just not motivated to move. Don't get motivated to move. Move and let the movement and let the body do the work. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to start to become motivated. You will be motivated. You don't need to go after, I just need motivation. No, you become motivation. How you become motivation is you get up and do the work. Like you get up and do the work, regardless of what it is. And I can tell you, there's nothing more gratifying to me as a coach to hear people and to see people and to walk with people and to talk with people who just stopped moving. They stopped moving and they didn't have energy. And they're like, no. So I'm going to differentiate this for a moment. And I'm not talking about moving for everybody else. I'm not talking about moving for your kids or moving for your work, or I go here and there, things that you're used to in a custom. I'm talking about moving for you, only you, taking time out for you. You deserve it. Like you got one body God gives you and you deserve it. Your body deserves it. You want the belly fat gone, you actually have to focus on that. That's going to be important. So here's the thing. Factors determining your metabolism, just so you know, besides moving, is of course your body size plays a role in that, right? Of course your sex. I know as far as men with energy levels and amount of muscle in your metabolism, men tend to have a little bit more muscle on their bodies than women. I get all those things combined. And then in age, right? As we get older, like our metabolism, I get all those things, right? But the bottom line is you move more, you're going to burn more calories, you're going to feel better, and you're going to increase your metabolism. All those three things, do you think, just let me know by just saying a yes so you're in agreement with me. You can say no, we can have a discussion. Say yes if you're in agreement with me when you start to move more, and you start to burn calories, you start to feel better, and you increase your metabolism. Do you think that the belly fat will come off then? Here's the problem. You see the fat come off in your face, and you see like, well, I didn't know I had fat on my neck, and then you see it maybe in your arm go away, or maybe it's in like your calf or your ankle go away, and you don't see it in the belly. And you know what happens? And you give up. And then you're on the right path, and then you give up. You're not given enough time. And you got to hear me out on this. It takes time. It takes patience. You got to give it. If you have the rest, the way I see it is I have the rest of my life to get in shape. So do you. You have the potential to get in the best shape of your life for the rest of your life. That's a good news. Like, I hope none of you are on your deathbed. I hope you have lots of years in your life. But I know this, and now you've probably heard this before. I want you to have a lot of life left in your years. Like, why not? And how are you going to do that? Not sitting on the couch, not feeling sorry for yourself, not feeling guilty, not knowing and saying and making an excuse of your hormones, or making an excuse that you had a knee replacement, or making an excuse that, you know, your doctor did this and that and all those things, or you have all. I've heard them all. I've heard just about all the excuses. And you either can make more excuses, or you can actually start to do something about something different. So here we go. That's on that. We got the last one on here. You guys liking it so far? You guys with me? All right, here we go. This one you'll love. We're almost there. We're almost there. Thank you so much too. If you had to duck out, if you're ducking out early, you're going to miss out on the best part coming up soon here. But number 5, how to confidently stare in the mirror and feel comfortable in your own skin. How does this picture look? Have you seen this before, right? I want to know, yeah, mirrors. Yeah, there you go. Here we go. How do you see yourself? Like, can I just, I'm giving you a little insider from a coach who talked to people that tell me that they can't even look at themselves. Like, I got to take a drink for a minute. Hold on. Here's something that it's hard for me to hear is when I hear somebody, a beautiful, maybe somebody has a little extra weight, maybe some belly fat, but they're a sincere, hardworking, thoughtful, caring, loving, beautiful woman of God, woman of faith, sister in Christ, and they can't even look at themselves in the mirror. And it's something that I think what happens is over time is that I have people that just don't even look in the mirror anymore. Is you feel like you've lost either so much time, maybe so much of yourself, maybe so much of the disappointment. Maybe you've tried so many things and you failed and you feel like a failure. And all of those things are starting to show up in that mirror. And I'll tell you what's really hard is, man, and I wasn't planning to get emotional, but I am, is that you have it in you to not only love yourself, but to be comfortable in your own skin. So as a happily married man to a woman who for the past 20 years, and I know for any of the rest of you out there, and I think the majority of you are all women on here, there might be a couple guys on, is that can today be the day right now that you go to the mirror, maybe after we get off of this and you go to the mirror and you say, I'm not where I want to be physically, maybe even emotionally or mentally, but I'm going to love you today. Like that, right there. I know it's easy for guys. Look, we get in the mirror and we have some rolls and we're looking and we look chiseled, right? That's just a guy thing. Like, I get it. I get that. For you women, how do you see yourself is going to be, this is truly the probably pinnacle thing that you need to get the belly fat off, to get the guilt away. Because what happens then when you're looking in the mirror, you're looking at all the things that you maybe feel you weren't able to accomplish, or you weren't able to go on that vacation, you weren't able to take those pictures in the holidays. I hear all of these things. The reason why I'm opening this up here to you is maybe there's some things that are needing to come to a surface. But the most important thing, while those things come to the surface, is to look at yourself in the mirror and said, I might not be where I want to be today, but I love who I'm looking at right now. And there's an affirmation. And I know maybe some of you think affirmations are hokey pokey, all that stuff, but I can tell you, I have coaching in my life. I have more than 3-4 coaches and a lot of people that I've surrounded myself who believed in me, who said, Mark, you know what? Here's the potential you have in your business and your health. I even work with a fitness coach. I've shared that before. And I would say they're able to show the kind of, again, because there's times where I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel good looking enough or sexy enough or wealthy enough or have it all put together. Then I feel all that guilt and all that shame, and I'm staring in the mirror. And guess what? And God had something different for me, and I have something different for you. Is when you go and look in the mirror, I don't care if you're 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight. I want you to go in and say, you know what? God loves me. I love me. I might not be where I want to be, but I know right now I have another day to improve. I have another day, and I'm going to smile and I'm going to love myself regardless of the weight. And that, if you can get a hold of that, I may be going a little bit further than I care to here, but I just hope that this is something that you guys realize. The other stuff is helpful right here. If you can get in touch with that picture of that mirror, maybe you need to screenshot it and look at how you're never going to look at yourself ever again. Can I get an amen there? Drop an amen down below, please. All right. I wanted to finish with that. So here's the thing. Those are the 5 things that I just wanted to share with you today. Q&A, in a sense, I want to know if you felt value from this training today. Was it maybe earth-shattering? Maybe not. If you were to pick one thing out, I would love to know what was most valuable for you here. And what was your biggest takeaway? You can drop it down in the chat, what your biggest takeaway. It helps me. It helps me to get better. This is something that, yes, you're like, oh, you're the coach, you do these live trainings. Up until a couple of years ago, I wasn't doing anything online. So I had to learn, had to get better, try to improve. Number 5 and number 2. Great. So you wrote some of that stuff down. Awesome. Let's see what you got. Number 5. Great, Channing. Oh, they're blowing up. It's blowing up. Here we go. Here we go. Takeaway, move more. Yes, sir. Very valuable. Great, Gloria. That's awesome. Lisa, Diane, muscle and metabolism. Great, great training more. Awesome. Let's see. I'm going to move this over so I can see all of you guys. The pictures, here we go there. All is valuable to me. More movement, 2 and 5. Great. Strength training. Excellent. Excellent. Self-image. Yes, yes. All right. All right. Awesome. So here we go. So this is the time, I would say right now. Oh, let me just make sure I'm on this. Oh, they're still coming in. Hold on a second. So for those of you guys that, again, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. If you had value in the training, awesome. At this time now, I'm going to let you know a couple things. So if you would like to hear about how to start this journey together, stay tuned. Got something to share with you, something super excited. If you're a current student of mine, you can step out the back door. I would tell you this is, oh, let me go back. If you didn't find value in this, if you're not like, yeah, this is good, but I'm doing my thing, that's fine. You can sneak out the back door. That's totally cool. If you don't want any help beyond here, again, simply just back out, that's there. But if you want to hear about how to really, truly get started on this journey, stick around. We're going to get into that right now, just for a few minutes. There's a weight loss journey. And what happens is a lot of people quit too early. I put this together maybe a year ago, but I just think it's such a great illustration, if you will. This is how you're told it works by all of the experts. This is how everybody's told. There's a linear progression as far as with weight loss. Is you eat 3,500 calories less and you lose a pound. You can lose 2 pounds a week, and it's just perfect. And if you do this 3 workouts and then you do that, you're going to lose this every single week. You get on the scale and it's going to be that and perfect. And that's not how it works at all. Here's how it works. These are called realistic results. This is typically what happens. There's the sadness that starts because you're in a bad place. Then you get some success, awesome, and then life gets in the way. And then you bail, or you go off track, or you go away on vacation and you blow it out, like you just go all out. And then next thing you come back and you get back on the wagon, and then you get some more success, and then it goes back. But guess what? It's still going up. because you're learning from those mistakes. You're learning and you're growing and you're improving and you're getting better and you're getting the weight off and the belly fat's coming off. And guess what? That's the kind of progress that actually works. None of this is perfect. I've never met anybody in the 26 years that had lost, trying to lose 50 pounds in 25 weeks, lost 2 pounds per week every single week to get the 50 pounds off. It just doesn't happen. Are people consistent losing weight? Oh, 100%. We get people crushing their weight loss goals, but it's usually an up and down pattern. And we don't just look at weight, we look at a number of things. So here's my vision for you. My vision for you is to have freedom. Like, here's the freedom. If you get so focused on just the course of weight loss, on the diets, on what kind of workouts, on all the food, and get so focused in that, you don't have the freedom. And I'm going to share with you now, just in here. And as you're going in this was us. The top left picture on here was my wife and I just this past weekend at 48. I'm going to be 49. She's turning 48. Like, we're getting cracking near 50. We went for a casual bike ride. This is my vision for you. I'm sharing you now. Your vision may be a little different, but I'm just going to share with you my vision. We went out for a casual bike ride. This was Saturday. That picture was taken Saturday. And we ended up biking, and it was such a nice day. And we went out and we came back, and it was almost 20. That's a single speed beach cruiser. You don't go fast on that. We did 20 miles that day just for fun. The other picture in the middle is during COVID and lockdowns. We also biked down to get pizza, and that's our little favorite pizza place. It wasn't open, so we had to eat pizza in the parking lot. We enjoy pizza every once in a while. Again, it's not something that you end up having to guilt. You're smiling and all that. And then here, just to share with you a little side picture, this is us. This was last summer. We were at the beach. And again, we're enjoying pizza. I'll have some cake. You have a little bit of this and that. You have the ability to live. You don't have to be so restrictive. I'm here to share with you whatever your vision looks like. You can have that, or you can keep struggling. Here are just some of the success stories that I wanted to share with you. Catherine, you can hear with her, lost 14 pounds. Her A1Cs went from 7.1 to 6.1 in just 3 months. Blood pressure medicine was cut in half. She drank water, stuck to her food plan, allowed herself a meal, restaurant, and pants are loose. And I know she's come a long way from this. Holly as well, fit and comfortable in a short she hasn't worn since last September. She's one of our newest. Lisa, gratitude, lost 25 pounds in 90 days. Just amazing, just success, grateful for Lisa, another Lisa, 45, turning 45, 35 pounds down lighter. Again, these are just a handful. Kathy, nothing has worked in the past. I'm getting healthier, smaller by following your lifestyle plan. Praise God. Opportunity. Melissa, she's one of our newest. Literally, this just happened last month. April, 13 pounds gone. Bye-bye. I can tell you all these people, it's hard work. There's no magic pill. There's no magic like hocus pocus. It's hard work. But when you have a simple, straightforward plan, accountability and structure and guidance all along the way, you can't lose. And the only thing you lose is the weight and the belly fat, which is coming off. Marion, 13 pounds. Here we go. Just a couple more. There's a whole bunch of Shane. He just lost 15 pounds 1 month in. Again, I know you like to see the weight loss, but I want to share with you, it's been really simple with Mark's plan. Stick with it and believe in the process, and you will see the results. This is what happens. This is what happens. So here's the next step for you. And I want to share with you, this is a one-time. Now, I say we have a strategy called How It Works for my coaching program called the Lean Body Breakthrough Coaching Program. It's quite simple. The only way to know if you're a good fit, I used to just welcome anybody in if they're willing to pay me in the past. I learned that was a very, very bad idea. I learned it through coaching, through going up and down the struggles. I now am at a point where I have an amazing group, an inner circle community of people, and we want more success stories, all of us. Because when you come in and you get success, then your success transfers to other people's success, and we all end up winning like I shared in the past. And the way to do that, and I'm going to say, if you're still with me now, and you can drop a 1 down there right now or not, is there's a link. And actually, Michael, my assistant, he's going to drop it down. Let me just make sure we're in here. He dropped the link down there. That's been what we have. It's a page that after a few questions, you can go right to book a call with me or one of my team members. And all you need to do is to click the link, fill it out, and you book a call. There's some videos at the end of the page. And then you bring basically how it works to get on on the right path with the right kind of accountability, with the right kind of support, is to truly not do it yourself. The reason why a lot of my students are all crushing, I say a lot, they're all improving in some ways. Now, some are faster than others, but some no, it just takes time, takes effort. But they have questions that are answered, they're on the right path, they have the right support, and they have the right accountability. And how it first came for them was they saw success like you're seeing now, like you're seeing them as success stories. You're seeing that now. And all it takes is them making an action step. You see, the reality is you take inaction is an action step. You can say, well, I just can't do this. I know there's like I know you're probably expensive and you like, I know it's going to cost money and I don't have, well, here's the thing. Nothing in life comes for free, nothing. But I will say this, when it comes to investing yourself, here's the thing that I had to learn the hard way. The worst seasons of my life, worst seasons I look back at, the areas that I felt the most failed, and I've had plenty of mistakes, plenty of mishaps, is the times that I was trying to do it on my own. And I only had myself to pull up my bootstraps and just try a little bit harder. And that's all good, even with God. I know plenty of people, well, you can leave it in God's hands, but God's going to tell you to get your hands moving and get to work and get the help that you need. So here's the thing, you book a call. Now I'm doing a one-time, just so you know this is tonight. You got it by 11:59 tonight. You literally have to book a call with me. You go onto that application, you book a call with me, and I'm doing something special. Now here's the special. You don't need to know what it is other than it is crazy. And it's our anniversary. So the 25th, my wife and I will be married 19 years. And in 19 years, I talked to her and I said, honey, you know, it's taken effort. It's taken a lot of hard work. And I said, but the payoff for you and I together for over 20 years now, 19 married, have been amazing. And I want other people to have the kind of relationship with their bodies and their health that we've been able to have and pursue over those years. So I said, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to do a special offer for our anniversary. And you got to book the call. This is it. It's tonight only. This is not after. It goes away. It's gone. It's done. But I can tell you, if you have any interest in getting on the right path, getting the belly fat, literally gone, like you saw in all the success stories, all you do is click the link below there. And here's the thing, personal cost of inaction. I know this is where a lot of people are. What are we? They're right there. What we want to be. You're waiting. You're just waiting. Like, I don't know if I need to jump. I don't know if it's time. Make the jump. It takes action. Yeah, actually, the only way I mean, you can go to a surgeon and you can maybe get it surgically removed, or you can go get a bypass lap band. And I can tell you, I have some of those people on my program because it wasn't a solution. It helped a little bit, but it wasn't a solution. And here's the thing. The personal cost of inaction could cost you, let's calculate the monthly inaction tax, if you will. Inaction could cost you time with your family, vacations and fun that you knew or you know you have the potential to go on. It could cause you time lost in your job. If you're sick, you're unhealthy, you know, think of time off for work. Those are a lot of things you got to think about. Think of the costs and how much is it going to cost if you have to go on medication that ends up being costly, very expensive, or doctor's visits that maybe are telling you that you're going to need surgery now and you're going to be now out of work, or you're going to be now laid up in at home for a while. Those are all very, very costly, far more costly than getting the help you need. And I hate to say it, but it is a bit of an ignorant tax in a sense. Is stop waiting until something drastic happens. Take action now. There's a freedom formula. This is it. This is the last of tonight's training, is a freedom formula. I'm going to spell it out for you. Number one, focus on the activities that move the needle. That's what we need. You want freedom in your life, you got to focus on the activities that are going to move the needle. The second thing is to realign and prioritize the right actions. The only way you're going to be able to get yourself the belly fat, get rid of the guilt, is when you start to prioritize the things that you need and take the actions and be realigned. That's what it's going to take, realign and eliminate everything that is not a core competency. You got to eliminate the things that are not, they're not working for you. You just got to remove them. The saboteurs, you got to remove them, get rid of them, empower others. Here's a beautiful thing. When you get the freedom by being healthy and fit, guess what happens? you end up empowering your family. You end up empowering the loved ones around you. You end up being an inspiration. You can potentially change generations to come. Does that make sense? We're not done yet. Date-driven results. The freedom formula is you get date-driven results. We'll decide when we build your plan out, I'll give you a plan of action for exactly how long it's going to take to get the weight off, get the belly fat off, get your body and your health back in order, and get yourself in potentially the best shape of your life, whether you're 48 like me or 58 like me. Maybe you're in your 60s and you're still struggling. Maybe now is the time that you actually go for results. You get around people that are going to give you not just results, but truly the life-changing experience that most people are just afraid to take action on. And then number 6, optimize consistently for speeding up wins. Well, we're going to optimize. The way to get to freedom is to get you results quick. You saw some of those quick results from people, and then to move forward. And some of those results are way beyond the scale, maybe actually starting to move for the very first time. When you get consistency, that is truly the key. The key to long-term success is consistency. Consistency with your eating habits, consistency with your exercising, and that all speeds up your wins. And then guess what? Magnifying those new habits. Those habits take on a life of their own. There's no more guilt feeling. There's no more hating yourself in the mirror. There's no more being disappointed. There's no more triggers that are going to cause you down the road to just diving into another half gallon of ice cream. Next time you get an ice cream, you enjoy it, you celebrate it, and then you move on. And those are the kind of habits for truly lifelong success. So here's the options that you have. Option 1 for your freedom formula. You don't have to take any action. Continue to overcomplicate, overanalyze, and overprepare, leaving you suffering in silence, thinking small and not get pushed. That's certainly the first option. That's one option. The other option 2 is what I had mentioned earlier. Schedule a free one-on-one strategy session with me to help you, not for me, but with me to help you create a custom tailored plan based on your current bottlenecks and what you're missing to drop the belly fat and feel sexy again. Now, I can tell you wholeheartedly that I'm on a mission to help 1,000 people. If you're not one of them, you're going to get left behind. If you're coming and following me a year later, there's going to be time. I'm going to be there, but it's going to be a year harder for you to start. Is it going to be impossible? No, because I've met people that said, Mark, I've been following you for a year and a half, and now I'm ready to do it. Great. But there's no guarantee that I'm going to be doing this forever. So here's the thing, and no guarantee that we'll all be around here forever. So one of the things is now is the time. The perfect timing is not tomorrow. Again, here's how it works. That smile on my face, I could say, I look at that picture right there and I see the smile, and I look at the smile. I look at how beautiful my wife is, and I look at how much she's taking care of herself. How beautiful she is from the inside and on the outside. And I look at my picture, and I look not at the guilt. I don't look at like belly fat or how disappointed. I look and say, and I'm not where I want to be, but I know God loves me, and I love me. And that's enough. And I'm grateful that he's loved me enough to give me a woman like her. Like, that's what it's meant to be. So all you need to do on this this free strategy session is set it up. Again, 11:59 tonight. You have to have it booked. Now, you can reach out, send me a private message on Facebook, or if you want to email me through that as well. If you don't find a time, just as long as you connect with me before this night is over, because I can tell you, I did a deal. I did this like special offer in New Year's. It's nothing like that. It's 1,000 times better. If you could get the guaranteed results that you'd want, and if you're interested in that, you need to book a call tonight, not wait around. Not like, oh, it's not the right time, or I don't know if I have enough money, and all those types of things. Again, those are the things that cause you to just stay stopped in your tracks. You stay stuck, and then guess what happens? Then the weight's still there, the belly fat's there, the guilt's still there, another year's there, more weight's added on, and then it just goes down that vicious cycle again. Get off the vicious cycle, get off that road, get onto the right path. After you book a call, just watch the videos on the page, bring your questions, and come ready to make decision. Because here's what it comes down to: success loves speed, and delay kills the dreams. That's all I have. Hey, listen, on this, I didn't even get to check because I know the time was running out. 11:59, like Michael put in there, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. So, well, if you're Pacific, yeah, I'll let it go to 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. That's fine. We're on Eastern Standard Time, but I will let it go those extra 3 hours for you. Click on my link. Take the time to look at the link. Take the time to look at more success stories. Take the time to look at the frequently asked questions. There's more than a dozen of them down there. Again, I'm looking for serious people who want serious results and who want to become success stories, not just for me, but for themselves and for the rest of their life. That's all I have. Hey, we're going to stop the share now. I don't know how many people are still on.